Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying the Manfred Jahn freeware DC-3, or I guess the C-47, so the military version that was then developed as a civilian one as well. And we're flying here at the airport of Fort Providence, and we're going to be flying to Hay River. And I'm doing this flight as a part of my Buffalo Virtual Air. Unfortunately, we don't have a Buffalo livery for the PBR version of the Manfred Jahn, but we will use the next best thing, Air North. Anything else to mention? No, but I guess what I can say is that this is a really great freeware, one of the best. At the top, basically, I would say this one and well, there's a couple of freewares, right? But there's not that many like the David Maltby Back 111. That's like kind of high fidelity in P3D. If we compare to X-Plane, for example, with the 737. But of course, you do have some, such as this one and the Manfred Jahn DC-3 or C-47, and then you also have the what's it called? God, totally blanking. But you have some things like the David Maltby one, the Back 111, the Milton Shoop -7. But you know, there's nothing that's really like top end, unfortunately. Or I guess the Milvis 737 is actually the top end, but that was used to be payware. So does it really count? Not sure. But yeah, so we are here at Fort Providence Airport. As you can see, just a gravel, no scenery. I haven't been able to find any. Let me see, Fort Providence scenery. Maybe FSX has some. No, there doesn't seem to be any. There's some scenery for X-Plane, but nothing for FSX. So we're just doing like really basic. But at least it's a good look for you to kind of see how the really basic P3D scenery looks. And we're flying to a freeway airport in that's an add-on that I got, a freeware add-on for Hay River, which is okay. It's not the best either. And then the rest is basically, I guess, North America land class by Orbex. I've been thinking of getting an autogen for the real package for this, but unfortunately the autogen is really bad, the coverage, at least the ones I found. So I haven't felt that it's worth it if there's no good coverage. So we'll be flying Orbex today. At least you'll get to see that. But it looks pretty good up here north, actually. I'll give them that. Because it's, you know, I think the city parts are the ones that get a bit off. Let me just start. Sorry, I'm starting my task manager because I want to close some programs that I have on. Mainly it was Discord, just to save some frames, even though we probably won't need that much. It's not that demanding of an aircraft, but it is high fidelity. So yeah, as you can see, the outside looks pretty nice. Nothing like you see that it's not payware quality, but it's not bad if we compare to the Airplane Heaven one. And then yeah, I mean, looks pretty good, PBR, so that's nice. And then on the inside it looks quite fantastic, and you have rain effects on the windscreens, and most systems are emulated somehow. You don't have a cabin from the inside, but you do have one from the outside, as you can see here, right? So this is some sort of cargo. It looks like you could have paratroopers actually, which is an option if you go shift 5. You get this option, right? Call out, cold and dark. And then you can basically go through the start checklist, which we'll go through because it's pretty good. And then you have this setting, which can also, you know, simplify things if you just want to start from here. The only thing I do here, I think, is the cowls, because I find them a bit difficult to set on certain settings, but that's about it. And that's shift 4. Shift 3 gives you like this general one. You can see a bit what's on. That sort of stuff, like the pitos, radios, etc. Shift F2, payload manager. And I don't think you need to set on, so let's see if I can if I can do that, or if I need to set actually through this one. We could check, because I did do a SimBrief flight plan for the DC-3, and according to that one we should have 23,000 in estimated zero fuel with a takeoff weight of 25. We don't need this much fuel, so we can probably go down quite a bit. I don't think we need anything in the auxiliary ones. 2.4, that should be pretty solid. Now we're down at 26. We can probably go down with this one as well. And the reason why I'm doing it through this tool instead of just having instead of just using the inbuilt one is just to make sure that I get oh, that's a bit too much. It's just to make sure that I actually get it right from the get-go, so I don't forget. We'll still have try to remember to have a look at the built-in one. Okay, now we are looking like we are within those limitations, so I'll press OK. And as you can see, it updated here as well, so that's pretty nice to see. So I don't think we need to actually change anything here, but it's good to know. I think you're able to change. As you can see, there's click spots here, right? So that's nice to see. But yeah, we're flying Buffalo Air, and yeah, for Providence to Hay River. So I guess quite a normal flight up here. Probably during the winter, mostly when the roads are a bit in worse shape. So let me just think a bit. Let me see. Okay, so we can actually go just by that list. We don't need to do anything else. If you can hear some movements, I think that's because the plane has some built-in sounds. And the way I'm going to keep the control panel open on my other screen, and then I'll move this one as well so you don't have to see it, but this one we can have. And we can let me see if there's anything else. We don't need stewardess on boards.
Before start, checklist. Parking brake set and checked.
Yeah.
Doors.
Okay, we should maybe close our doors. We'll fly this as a VFR flight.
Battery.
Basically not, I'm not even gonna set up the Prepar3d. We'll do ultimate type of VFR flight. Okay, so battery, and you'll find it here.
On. Ground power. GPU disconnected.
And the way you connect the GPU, if I'm not totally out of it, is you have to call for it. So let me just have a look. Or
yes, Captain, just a moment.
let me see. Or maybe you don't have to call for it. I'm trying to start. That's for the engines. GPU off. Well, maybe we can keep it off. Actually, it shouldn't be too big a problem. Okay, so the generators, those are these two.
Both on.
You put them on.
Beacon.
The beacon light is here, so in line also with the airplane heaven version. Nav lights are also here.
Checked on.
I'm gonna move this
Cabin
one so you don't
signs.
need to see it. Cabin signs.
Is on. Ignition master.
Ignition masters. I think that one is. Let me see. Or this is. No, sorry, this is not the ignition master. The ignition masters are. think now. I'm gonna put these ones because you want to keep those on left and right. The ignition master is this one.
Magnetos.
These
Check
are the
both off.
magnetos.
Fuel quantity. Left main. Check.
Fuel quantities we check here.
Left auxiliary. Right auxiliary. Check. Right check. Check. Fuel
Good.
selectors. Checked. Carb heat. Checked on cold.
These should be open.
Set to 0. Cow flaps.
I think it's trail you
Full
can't
open.
go to.
Mixture. Idle cutoff. Throttle.
Throttles should be cracked at 15.
Throttle is cracked. Prop control.
Full forward prop controls are these.
Full forward. Flight controls. Elevator full down. Elevator full up. Ailerons right. Ailerons left. Rudder full right. Rudder full left. Before start checklist complete. Okay, let's switch to 2.
Okay. Oh, putting on the parking brakes. Something to mention here, you can see this is in up. So in certain ways it's higher fidelity, and in certain ways it's less higher fidelity than the Airplane Heaven one. It's though a really nice take on the DC3, right? You can see we have even Marilyn. Well, look at that. You can swap that even, so that's pretty cool. Maybe we can keep it like that. That's more important information than having Marilyn there. But yeah, so great aircraft. Also in terms of like you have some of the exterior model. You can see it's black, so the same as here. That's always nice to see. And you'll see the engines when you go like this, if I'm not totally mistaken. And look at that. So that's yeah, just great actually. Really well implemented. We are now actually ready to start things up. Don't think you need the ground power, fortunately. We can though go on shift and check if we have because where's our avionic master? I think it's here. Well, let me see. So we can get the Garmin set up. And the reason for that is just so I can make a bit of a flight plan here, so we have something to follow. We do have just a direct. The flight plan is basically from this airport to Merlin Carter or Hay River, and we're gonna fly the runway 14 approach, which is an RNAV. We can do a VR. We don't need to do a. Well, we can do Alpum like that. We can load the approach. Then I would do it like that. And then we have a flight plan taking us directly to the approach and then down. And I'm actually going to undock this window and I'm going to put it let's see what's happening now. Oh no, the whole game crashed. That's not good. Let me pause and get it back on. 1 second. Okay guys, we are back. I thought I would set it up and kind of speed up the video for you guys. The only thing I actually didn't set up was the GPS flight plan, but I'm not gonna move that. I was trying to move it to my third screen, and that's why, because you kind of undock it. And I have seen it, I think, crash once before, but yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. It's with the 2D panels, right? It's not always the most straightforward, unfortunately, even though one would wish that it was. But that's okay. It's actually quite easy to set things up with this plane with the checklist, right? So we're still here, same location. All is good. Let me just try to reconnect with the virtual. Okay, good. So we want to get started, and we want to get going, and then we want to fly away, and we want to fly from runway. Let me just check. 3-2, so 3-1, so from left to right, which I guess makes sense. So let's start our engine through this checklist. I'll move it away so you can hear it instead.
Okay, starting the right one. Fuel pump.
So we need to start the fuel pumps. I think it's these ones.
Starter.
And then you will engage the starter. And we're doing the right engine now.
Cranking the right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
15.
Makes on. Both on.
On.
Mixture.
Mixture. And we put that to auto.
Checked.
Rich.
Prime.
And then the primer, which is here.
On. Engine 2 starting up. Oil pressure's coming up.
And there you see engine 2 starting up. So pretty neat way of starting up. I think it's much better than the airplane Heaven one. And I guess more true to reality as well. So that's pretty cool. So we have engine 2 started. Okay, then we can do the left.
Starting the left. Fuel pump on. Starter. Engine is cranking. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Mags on. Both
Max on.
Mixture. Checked.
Odd rich.
Prime. On.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Engine 1 starting up. Oil pressure's coming up.
And there we go. That's a successful start. So yeah, as you can see, we now have both our engines running. The thing that I didn't mention that's a major difference is that the taxiing with this one, you can do it with a tiller. So it's not the same. I kind of like the difficulty with the airplane Heaven one. But that's kind of my main gripe with this model. Other than that, I do kind of like it. Can't seem to open that window, but you can open this one. And it does have a sound effect difference, right? So that's pretty cool. Okay. So before taxi, we can do that.
Before taxi checklist. Inverters on.
Okay, I guess we will start this after, right?
Magnetos. Both
On.
on. Fuel pumps
A few pumps, we can go to off.
off. Tail wheel unlocked. Flaps
Tail wheel is,
checked. Mixture. Auto rich.
let
Wheel
me
jobs
see,
off. Before taxi
this
checklist
one, the
complete.
orange one. It's not the green one like with the airplane Heaven one. Okay, good. So we'll do the before start soon, but we'll taxi towards our takeoff point. And let's see, we'll do the left engine. You can't really, I've tried to steer this one as a kind of tail dragger by using the brakes, but it won't turn, like the differential braking doesn't work, so I'll just use the tiller for turning, even though that's very non-realistic. I mean, I could use the rudders as well, right, but it doesn't feel super realistic. And now let me see, I think the runway extends. Oh god, I'm so used to the other one. I think this is where the runway kind of ends. So let's turn to the left already here. And hopefully we can make this little gravel.
Engines are warm and ready.
Yeah, engines are warm and ready, so that's a good sign. And we are gonna wanna set everything correctly for the takeoff. And then get it going. And let's see. We'll do shift 5. Okay.
Before takeoff checklist. Mixture.
Trim.
Rich.
Maybe trim a bit.
Control. High RPM. Trim. Set and checked. Flaps. Checked. No flaps.
We're gonna do a bit of flaps. Cowl flap should be on trail. And here's the problem I've had. So I can't really set them on trail. So what I do is usually shift 4. And then you should be able to do it here. By pressing that button, then you get trail. Okay.
Landing lights. The engines are sure getting hot.
Oh, the engines are getting a bit hot. Need to be careful. Okay, landing lights.
Pitot heat.
Pitot heat as required, but if it's, I mean, if 0 is more than what we have, and I mean we have minus, we are gonna wanna have pitot heats on.
Fuel pumps.
We want the fuel pumps on for the takeoff, so we're basically putting them on again.
Tail wheel.
We'll lock the tail wheel.
Locked. Before takeoff complete.
Takeoff is around 2700 RPM, or yeah, 2700. So let's keep the brakes in. Let's see how we can get that RPM. Should be around the yellow. There we go. Releasing the brakes. Oh my god, this one really wanted to go to the left more than I thought. Let's try to get back onto the gravel. There we go. The backside is going up, and we can start pitching up. So still pretty nicely handled in, or the aircraft handles pretty nicely in that regard. Do gears up. We'll start turning to the right already slowly. So you do have to kind of stay ahead of the aircraft. Okay, so flaps can also go up.
They're up. The engines are sure getting hot.
Yeah, we need to push them down a bit, the throttles. One way we can do that is also by decreasing the props. And we're now turning. I'm gonna try to, let's close the pumps and shut the landing lights. And we are going, well, into the weather, you might say. So let's have a look a bit at our speeds. I don't think there's any form of autopilot, so that's good to be aware of. We're still climbing, so that's good. But we are losing speed. So let me increase a bit. I'll push these back a bit further. Let's trim a bit more. There's no visual references, right? So we are just flying instrumental now. We're still climbing. Let me see the carburetors though. Are those? Carburetor's hot. Okay, we don't need to put those on. We can keep them off then. I can see that from this one, right? This gives some information. So that's good to be aware of. We're still climbing. Oh, and now we're turning to total opposite direction of where we're supposed to be flying. So one needs to pay attention here. We don't have a lot of fuel, but we have enough to get us this. It's about 55 nautical miles. We never set the altimeter. I think we should set that since we're flying quite low today. 324. I'm gonna pull these ones back. Increase the manifold pressure. 56 nautical miles left. Bit sad that this one doesn't work, would be nice to see. At least the wipers work. Let's see what the weather is at our destination. Looks okay. Let's try to pick up some speed. We're about 3,000. What's our cloud layer here? 723, so we should be out of it somewhat soon. The temps are still looking good. The coal flaps are on trail. I can increase a bit more. Let's see, we want to be heading in a direction of around 23. I think this should be quite good, so let's stabilize the aircraft a bit. $42 minutes remaining. I'm gonna pitch down a bit by using the trim. Since we have a tendency to roll a bit to the right, trying to think if we can trim that somehow. Probably can. Now I'm wondering if I forgot to slave these. Sorry, not 21. This one is working, that one is inoperative. You can see that these are aligned, so that's good. We're picking up a bit of speed now. Still think we're ascending a bit fast. We do seem to be coming up on the cloud layer now, so that's good. We can jump on the outside. You can see you flying quite nicely. A bit going to the left. Okay, that one doesn't seem to be implemented. Okay, so as you can see, not everything is the same standard as airplane heaven, so it's a bit of a what you kind of like. I like the cockpit, the interactive stuff. So in that sense, I do prefer this one, but then I also like the airplane heaven, because it looks absolutely fantastic from the outside, and it's not a bad one for airplane heaven. Okay, look at the weather, quite foggy, overcast conditions. I do hope the landing airport isn't as bad. Overcast at 700 feet. Oh, that's bad, that's bad. This could be a tough landing, because I think the minimums are about 900. But I mean, as long as we can see the airport, right, we should be fine. 113.9 is the localizer. I'm wondering now where the control for that is. Okay, let's see, we're now a bit sorry, I'm gonna close Prepar3d. See, I noticed it was up. Still dragging a bit to the left. Nothing crazy. About 27 minutes left. And now we're descending, or ascending a bit too fast, climbing, yeah. Let's see if this will be enough to I don't think we need to climb that much more. It's just a slow route, or short route, that's the word. But yeah, okay, so the nav 1, that's correct, 113.9, and we are doing a heading of 163. And where do you put that in? That's the question. So 163. Oh, here we can. So basically it works with the Logitech panel, and we get this one. So 1, 6. Six, 3. Okay, good. And we can actually go to auto lean, I think. Oh, not like that, like that. God, I hate these these throttles. Now let's see if these auto lean will have any positive effect. I haven't noticed any difference compared to when flying the airplane heaven one, where you really could see it like kind of take off right when you were higher up. I mean, we're climbing still, so I could explain a bit of it. Looking pretty nice. Beautiful aircraft. I love that kind of shimmering effect. That's really PBR at its finest. Let me just have a quick look at the... It's quite a noisy... I'm gonna lower the volume a bit. Hopefully that helped you as well. Let me just open the GPS again. For the approach we should be down at 1,800 feet, so quite a low. We can start descending soon as we're around 8,000 now. So once we get to about 30 nautical miles, and that's to the airport, right? So we technically we can descend a bit quite soon actually, because we're gonna be above the Great Slave Lake soon, which you can see here. So we're coming here, we're aiming for the Alpum, and then I'll do a right turn. So Since we don't use pilot ADC, and I've never seen anyone else land at these airports, so we should be fine. There's no other aircrafts anyway, anywhere around us. We're still climbing though. I think that should be fine. I'm gonna pitch down a bit. We could actually, we're now 40 nautical miles off. Let's start descending slowly. We don't want to be caught behind our airplane. We'll have to remember to go with the props to high RPM. Mixtures of auto rich, cold flaps of trail, fuel tanks, left main, right main, yes, landing lights on, yes, and all of that. Good, makes sense. And we just have a look at the values, they look good, so no need for any other settings. I'll close the control panel, we don't need to see that, but what we can check already is the altimeter, so that's 327, so quite similar to what we have. And what I can check also is the minimums, and check if we have a somewhere to put those minimums, and we do not seem to have that. Here we have another course, so I'm just gonna put this as well, 160, 61, 263. Oh, now we're climbing again. I'm gonna pitch down a bit more. Hopefully we'll finally start descending. Now it looks like we're actually descending, so that's good. Yeah, we're hauling some cargo for Buffalo Virtual. So that's the purpose of this flight. But I guess also this is kind of, let me have a look at my list of the ones I have for McDonnell Douglas. Apart from this one, I guess I have the flight replicas DC-4 that I might do at some point, and what's it called, the Carve Air. Now we're climbing again. How much do you need to pitch down with this one? Let me pull back a bit on the throttles, nothing crazy. But yeah, so the flight replicas one, and then I have the V Skylabs, also another DC-3 for X-Plane that I might at some point do, but I haven't been able to figure that one out yet in terms of landings and stuff. System-wise, it's nothing spectacular, I guess, kind of same similar level as these ones, but the landing seems way harder. Oh, now it's really starting to descend. It's not the easiest plane to control. You need to stay on top of the airplane at all times. Okay, let me see. We have around 33 nautical miles in minutes. That's around 11. Oh, now we're climbing again. Let's see. I'm gonna go back to auto rich. I'll pull the throttles back a bit. I'll actually increase the... Oh wait, maybe we don't want to increase the RPMs that much yet. We can do that just before landing. We're descending quite fast. I wonder what's the descent, the normal one. My guess is around 1,500 or something with these older aircrafts. We should be at around 1,800 feet once we reach Alapum, which is about 20 nautical miles away from us by now. Or, yeah, 25 maybe. We're going quite fast, almost 180 knots, so we should be there relatively soon. And we're still descending, as you can see. But yeah, this will be interesting because soon we'll be back in the weather very soon, so we can say goodbye to the clear blue skies and the ability to see our surroundings. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see any of the Orbex scenery, right? How North America looks, but it's worth to get. At least you have something that looks 10 times nicer. I mean, I remember when I got the Orbix for FSX, I mean the difference was huge. Base FSX was just atrocious. Better on the, not the VRAM or whatever it was called back then, but yeah, the 32-bit RAM, I guess you can call it. But it just didn't look good. Let's turn a bit to the left. Now we're about 20 nautical miles. Still descending. But yeah, minimums, were that somewhere where we could put that in? I mean, this is an old aircraft. I guess we can do here, radio altitude. We'll just do the maximum then. Oh no, here we go. So you can even... I guess it's on and then you would have to call it out, right? Once you get to it. Okay, so... bit of an old school system, which I guess makes sense. I think if we'd been flying a lot of time up there, up high, we would have, I guess, closed the cowl flaps. And now we're really in the weather, so we're flying blind. We only have the GPS and the VOR to kind of put our fade in. We'll turn a bit to the left so we can get a better angle to turn into our lateral guidance. We won't have any vertical guidance though, so we'll try to keep a 3-degree glide slope, which is around, right, 800 with 150 knots, it's around 800 feet per minute. From Uknop. Okay, about 8 minutes according to the Buffalo Virtual Airlines speed, or ACARS. We're soon at 3,000 feet. Let's pitch a bit up. Oh, it's a bit spooky once you see the water like that, right? Because you're like, am I keeping the right altitude? Oh, now we're climbing instead. Jesus Christ, this aircraft is a bit fickle. We don't want to climb, we just wanted to a bit check or fix the elevator trims. Now that we're down this low, let me pull back a bit on the manifold pressure. Can you hide the yoke? Possibly not. We're descending now again. Now it's only about 10 nautical miles to Alpum. And we are at almost 3,000. We still need to descend about 1,500. We can do the before landing, just to make sure that we have it going.
Mixture, auto rich, prop control, high RPM, cowl flaps, set trail, fuel pumps, both on, landing lights, checked on, cabin signs, check both on, flaps.
We'll wait a bit with the flaps. Now the question is, can we see anything? Do we have any indication that we are getting that VR, that we're picking that up? Because I don't see anything. Let me go and check here at CYHY. Yeah, we have the right frequency, so that's good. At least we can see that. Okay, we're below 3,000 feet. Can't see anything. So we really have an overcast that we're working against. Or I guess also if you have an overcast that says 700, I guess it doesn't say how high the overcast goes, right? I guess that's less of interest. Even though I guess it would be of interest, right, if you want to get above the clouds. We're soon at where we should be in terms of altitude. And we'll soon be turning into Obvos. I guess we'll skip Alpum in a way. They're all kind of the same altitude anyway, or the altitude restrictions. So we'll turn in here in the middle. Let's just see if we really get that. Where did that go now? There we go. I'm just gonna move it, hopefully it doesn't crash us again. Okay, we're soon at our altitude. How much is left of our flight? 6 minutes, 16 nautical miles to go. So it's not a lot, that's for sure. Still have nothing alive here. I was trying to wonder if the VR is on or not. Does seem to be working, right? Let's see, our airport altitude is 500 feet. So we're not that far off from the ground level. I'm gonna change the elevator trim a bit. I want to make sure we still descend, but not that much. We want to turn right first. Still seeing no sign of life with the VR. So let's have a look with that. Let's change this one back to the flaps one. Where did it go? Oh. And there we can hide the yoke. That's gonna help. Thought we could see the flaps thing, but okay. Maybe not. No idea if that helped. Doesn't seem to have done anything. We're a bit below 1,800. I guess we're going to 1,700 once we get to Uknop, but we're not there. We really need that lateral guidance though. Okay, at least the DME is alive. And it's giving us reasonable input, saying around 11. We have around 11. So now I just want to get this one alive and kicking. But maybe once we get closer to the actual to the actual course that we should have, 163, maybe it will work better. Let's see. Still a bit worried that we haven't gotten any signal or any indication that we're getting there. I'm gonna pull the yokes back a bit more, see if we can lose some. And I'll trim a bit up. This will be interesting to see. Guess we can turn a bit right. Now I'm just following what the GPS is telling us, but that's not a whole lot. You can choose between. I do have an approach. Doesn't seem to help us though too much. Why are we not getting that vertical guidance? Now we get it, sorry. There we go, it's alive. Now we have it, so we can follow that needle. We don't have any... Oh, sorry, we have lateral guidance, we don't have any vertical. We're going a bit to the right of it, so we need to get back. I can go a bit lower with the manifold, but nothing crazy. We can start descending a bit. I think we can also, let me see if we can maybe already go to flap 1.
Flaps, 1/4.
We're seeing some of the ground, so that's a good sign. Maybe we'll see the airport in time. Turning a bit left. I think we had a bit of wind from 140, so that would explain why we're drifting also a bit. Looks like we have okay visibility here. So let's see. We're probably gonna be a bit below. Looks pretty nice actually now with the little bit of haze. Let's drop the landing gear as well.
Going down.
There we see the poppies. We are a bit low.
Gear down. Green lights.
How the hell can this be correct? Let me have a look. Yeah, this is what the hell? So this is a side. You're not going straight in. Okay, that's good to know. Let's see a bit with the speed at 100. I'll increase it a bit. Go to flaps 3. Okay, so it's a bit of a left turn one. Okay, I didn't know that actually. Why didn't I think of that? I mean, I can see it big time now when I'm looking at the chart, but I must have totally just blanked. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna close the GPS as well. We don't need to look at that. Any other lights that should be on? Anti-collision should have been on. Oh, but that's an unmovable one. Very interesting. I did not see that. Here we go, flaps full. Let's see a bit. We're a bit high now. Falling a bit behind. We should have a much higher descent rate. We'll go a bit to the right and then we'll turn left. Okay, we have 3 whites, 1 red, still a bit high. Okay, coming in like this, and here you can see really Orbex looking pretty nice. Now we have 2 whites. We're turning in. It's looking pretty good. Looking quite solid. Let's pull back on the throttles. Runway 14. Let's pitch up a bit. We don't want to come in too hot. There we go. We can slow down. Brake a little bit. Try to get that back down. That tail wheel down. Oh, let's see. That should do the trick. And then we can unlock the tail wheel. We can start our next checklist, the after landing one. So yeah, really fun to fly this. Oh yeah, cowl flaps, that should go to open if I'm not mistaken. And let me do that by going here. Then I think you can do like that. Or is it closed that they want? Cowl flaps open.
Flaps. Flaps. They're up.
Anything else? Landing lights.
Landing lights are off.
Pitot heats should go off.
Checked off.
Fuel pumps.
Off. Trim.
Trim should be 0. Oh, sorry, 0, not.
Set to 0.
There we go.
Tail wheel unlocked.
Tail wheel
After
unlocked.
landing checklist complete.
Okay, good. So we're getting here helping out the Buffalo crew at Hay River. Okay, let's see the shutdown, which will start here.
Shutdown checklist. Mixture.
We'll just taxi somewhere. Don't think we have too many good. As you can see, this is an FSX Hay River that I kinda got to nicely. It took me a while to get it to work here, so you know, you get some of the buildings, it's not looking the best, but it will do. I'm just gonna, I think, stop here just in the middle, kind of the, what do you call it, the tarmac. Out with the parking brakes. Okay, so mixtures should go to idle cutoff.
Idle cutoff. Magnetors and ignition master.
Ignition masters. So the magnetos, they can go to off.
Both off. Tail wheel
Unlock.
unlocked. Parking brake set and checked. Wheel chocks.
And the chocks, I think you set the chocks. God, now I'm trying to figure this one out. I think you do it through these.
Chocks are set. Lights
Lights should be off.
off. Inverters
Inverters
is
off.
Avionics
Off.
off. Generators
Off.
both off. Cabin signs
Cabin signs, which we have here, off.
off. Battery
And battery off.
that's off. Shutdown checklist complete.
So yeah. And then we could open the door. So we have nicely landed. So yeah, pretty nice flight. Need to still have a look at the replay. I'm gonna close this one. But yeah, a nice flight with the Manfred Jahn DC3 / like, I guess 747 or C-47 747. That's a wish, I guess. But yeah, the Manfred Jahn C-47. You can see the chocks showing here as well. I'm gonna remove them though, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna be stuck there if I do the replay. So let's remove those. My PyRep was filed, so that's nice. And it's pending, so let's see if that gets accepted. The landing rate we had was really good. 22 touchdown. So that was nice, very nice. And let's do the replay then. So instant replay, we'll do 160. That was a bit too soon. 260 should give us, no, not that, that wasn't enough either. 320 maybe. Here we go. Now you can see our nice approach here. I really like this. This looks pretty good, I would say, for being Orbex, even though you can see, you know, kind of how old it is. There's no like details with stuff, but I don't need that much of that. So let's see. We are landing pretty nice, a bit before the touchdown, the main touchdown zone, but that's sufficient. We are quite centered, a bit to the left of the center line, and we're getting that tail down slowly. Very nice. Have a look at some YouTube videos for of the DC-3 slash C-47 landing. It's quite interesting. They go quite a bit before they get that tail down. And I've heard they're quite tricky to master on the landings, but amazing aircraft. And if you want to fly one in real life, I guess try to sign up with Buffalo Airways. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Otherwise, I wish you all a good rest of the day. Goodbye.